The United States has imposed a 25% tariff on all goods imported from Canada. This aggressive move has ignited a trade war between the two neighboring nations. Canada has responded in kind. It has placed reciprocal tariffs on $155 billion worth of American goods. This trade war has sent shockwaves through the global economy. The tariffs are expected to have a significant impact on both economies. The cost of goods is likely to rise for consumers on both sides of the border. Businesses are bracing for the worst. The trade war is the culmination of months of escalating tensions between the two countries. The Trump administration has repeatedly criticized Canada's trade practices. It has accused Canada of unfair competition in several industries, including lumber and dairy. The Canadian government has defended its record. It argues that it always plays by the rules. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau addressed the nation shortly after the tariffs were announced. He expressed his disappointment with the American action. Trudeau called it a trade war against Canada's closest ally. He vowed to defend Canadian interests. Trudeau pledged to take reciprocal action. Trudeau's speech was measured but firm. He acknowledged the strong relationship between Canada and the United States. But he also made it clear that Canada would not be bullied. He said that Canada would not back down. He emphasized that Canada would respond in kind to any and all tariffs. Trudeau's speech was well received in Canada. Canadians appreciated his strong stance. They supported his commitment to defending Canadian interests. The speech was also praised by some international observers. They saw it as a sign that Canada would not be pushed around by the Trump administration. Trudeau ended his speech on a note of hope. He said that he was confident that the two countries could find a way to resolve their differences. He said that Canada was committed to free trade. He believed that a trade war was in no one's best interests. The United States has attempted to justify its tariffs. The Trump administration has cited a number of reasons for its actions. One of the most prominent is Canada's alleged unwillingness to cooperate in combating fentanyl trafficking. Fentanyl is a powerful synthetic opioid. It has been responsible for a surge in overdose deaths in the United States in recent years. The Trump administration claims that Canada is a major transit point for fentanyl entering the United States. It says that Canada is not doing enough to stop the flow of this deadly drug across the border. This claim has been met with skepticism by many experts. They point out that the vast majority of fentanyl entering the United States comes from China. They also note that Canada has taken steps to address the issue. The United States has called on Canada to do more to stop the flow of fentanyl. It wants Canada to increase border security and to crack down on drug traffickers. Canada has said that it is committed to working with the United States, but it has also said that it will not be bullied into taking actions that are not in its best interests. Prime Minister Trudeau has vehemently refuted the U.S. accusations regarding fentanyl trafficking. He presented a compelling case backed by data to dismantle the U.S. narrative. Trudeau asserted that less than 1% of fentanyl and illegal border crossings into the U.S. originate from Canada, directly contradicting the U.S. administration's claims. Furthermore, Trudeau highlighted Canada's proactive and comprehensive approach to combating fentanyl trafficking. He outlined the country's significant investments and strategic measures. This includes a $1.3 billion border plan incorporating cutting-edge technology like AI and imaging. This strengthens border security and enhances coordination with U.S. agencies. Trudeau emphasized the deployment of additional resources, including drones, helicopters, and personnel, to bolster border control. He also highlighted the appointment of Kevin Brosseau as the fentanyl czar, demonstrating Canada's dedicated focus on tackling this issue head-on. Trudeau's rebuttal effectively dismantles the U.S. justification for the tariffs, exposing the flawed reasoning behind the trade war. His presentation of facts and Canada's concrete actions underscores the country's commitment to combating fentanyl trafficking, rendering the U.S. accusations baseless. Section 5. A plea for reason. In his address to the nation, Prime Minister Trudeau made a direct and impassioned appeal to President Donald Trump. Acknowledging their long-standing relationship, Trudeau reminded Trump of their 8 years of collaboration on various fronts. Trudeau emphasized the positive outcomes achieved through their joint efforts, particularly highlighting the historic trade deal they forged. He reminded Trump that this deal had spurred economic growth and created jobs on both sides of the border. Trudeau stressed that this mutually beneficial partnership was now at risk due to the trade war. He urged Trump to reconsider the tariffs, emphasizing the potential negative consequences for both countries. Trudeau's appeal was not just a plea for economic sanity, but also a reminder of the strong bond between Canada and the United States. Section 6. 8 years of progress at stake. Trudeau's appeal to President Donald went beyond economic arguments. He invoked their shared history, reminding Trump of their 8 years of collaborative efforts on the world stage. Trudeau highlighted their joint work on issues of global importance, demonstrating the strength and significance of their partnership. By emphasizing their past successes, Trudeau sought to remind Trump of the progress they had made together. He implicitly questioned the wisdom of jeopardizing years of collaboration for a trade dispute. Trudeau's appeal was a stark reminder that the trade war threatened to unravel years of positive engagement between Canada and the United States. He presented the trade war as not just an economic conflict but also a threat to the strong bond between the two nations. His words served as a call to return to a path of cooperation and mutual respect, urging a reconsideration of the tariffs that threatened to undermine years of progress. Section 7. The economic fallout. Experts predict the trade war will have significant and far-reaching consequences for both the Canadian and U.S. economies. The tariffs imposed are expected to disrupt the deeply integrated supply chains between the two countries, leading to increased costs for businesses and consumers alike. The trade war is likely to result in job losses in sectors heavily reliant on cross-border trade. This will impact both economies but is anticipated to be more pronounced in Canada due to its smaller and more trade-dependent economy. The uncertainty generated by the trade war is also expected to dampen investment and economic growth in both countries. The tariffs will disrupt the seamless flow of goods and services, increasing prices for consumers and reducing purchasing power. This, in turn, could lead to a decline in consumer spending, further slowing down economic growth. Section 8. A lifeline for Canadians. Recognizing the potential economic hardship the trade war poses to Canadians, Prime Minister Trudeau announced a series of support measures. These measures aim to mitigate the negative impacts on businesses and workers, providing a safety net during these uncertain times. Trudeau announced the expansion and increased flexibility of employment insurance benefits, providing a crucial lifeline for workers who may lose their jobs due to the trade war. He also pledged direct support to businesses, particularly those in sectors most vulnerable to the tariffs, ensuring their continued operation and minimizing job losses. Furthermore, Trudeau announced measures to prevent predatory takeovers of Canadian companies weakened by the trade war. This demonstrates the government's commitment to safeguarding Canadian businesses and preventing foreign entities from taking advantage of the situation. Section 9. The uncertain road ahead. The trade war between Canada and the United States has cast a shadow of uncertainty over the future of the two nations' economic and political relations. The path ahead remains unclear, with the potential for further escalation or a negotiated settlement both remaining possibilities. The outcome of this trade war will depend on several factors, including the willingness of both sides to engage in meaningful dialogue, the domestic political climate in both countries, and the potential impact on global trade patterns. While the immediate future appears bleak, the strong historical ties, shared values, and deeply integrated economies of Canada and the United States offer hope for an eventual resolution. However, the road to reconciliation is likely to be long and arduous, requiring compromise and understanding from both sides. Until then, the trade war will continue to cast a long shadow, impacting the lives of citizens and the economies of both nations.
So hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and let's turn the page on a new adventure together. Get ready to experience books like never before, only on VBook 360. Like, comment, and share to support the channel and keep the video magic alive. Thank you for stopping by. And remember, every video has a story, and every story deserves to be shared. See you in the next video.